Today we're going to go over the overhand shuffle control. Very basic, so convincing, and probably the one control every magician needs to learn. So let's get to it.
So before I give you my tips and subtleties on the overhand control, I'm going to teach it to you so you have a better understanding of how to actually do it. So the grips for the overhand is basically like this. You're kind of cradling the deck. It essentially looks like that. It's like a straddle grip, but kind of like awkward, I guess. Your index finger's up here. Your pinky finger, very crucial, that is down here because that's what's going to actually control the card. And as you're shuffling, your thumb is going to be applying pressure. But don't worry about that for now. Just focus on the grip. It looks something like this. That way you can execute it. Right? And actually the messier the better, but I'll get into that. So how to actually shuffle it. So it looks like this, right? Very sloppy, very messy, but that's what this control is supposed to be. So what you want to do is, with your index finger here, you want to grab about half, and you just want to kind of put this packet here, right? It's not flat, it's like this. And then you want to put your thumb right here, and you're pulling your right hand, right? You're not pulling this down, it's your right hand coming up, right? Your left hand is not really doing anything. Your thumb is kind of just moving out of the way so it can take those cards. So now that you learned how to shuffle the deck, you need to learn how to run an overhand shuffle. Running is in essence running just one card. So if you needed to run 5 cards, it would just be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This will be important for you to actually control the card, or if you want to control the card to a certain position. So here's how to run the deck. You want to grab any amount of cards, and instead of putting your thumb so loosely on it, you want to put a little bit more pressure. You want to grip this packet a little tighter and pull up on your right hand. So that way it's only one card. That's exactly how it should look. Now we're going to learn how to control a card using everything we just learned. So you want to grab the deck, right? You shuffle. And let's say they tell you to stop here. All right, we are going to turn this over so it's easier to follow and a little easier to understand. So what you want to do to control the card to the top, what you want to do is have it in this position. You want to get your right hand and you want to bring this a little bit down. You want to run one card, just one. That way it's a little bit more in-jogged towards you and your pinky's right there. And this is where the pinky comes into play. Now that you run one card, now you can shuffle off as many cards as you like. The smaller you can get it, the better, because if you leave it all the way back here, it'll be extremely noticeable. So make sure you can get it as close as you can to the top. So once you have that break, just continue shuffling. And again, the messier the better. Then you want to kind of push your pinky up so you can pick up that break easily and just throw it on top. Now you have successfully controlled the card to the top. So you want to control the card to the bottom. So it's exactly the same way. Turning it over, so they pick the jack. You want to run one card or 2 cards, doesn't matter. All right, and then shuffle off. When it's up here, all you have to do is run one card and shuffle off. And now your card is at the bottom. So now we're gonna get into my tips and subtleties for the overhand shuffle control. So the first tip is how to make it look more convincing. So let's say you did the shuffle control to the top. One thing you can do is literally just keep rotating it in a circle from top to bottom, shuffle, and then bottom to top. So this is what I mean. Let's say you controlled their card, the 4 of diamonds, and let's say you controlled it to the top. You would immediately just bring it to the bottom, keep it at the bottom, by basically putting pressure on this side, and then pulling up with the right hand. So it's only 2 cards, and then now shuffle the rest, and do that as many times as you want. All right, you can be real messy about this part. All right. And then when you want to be done shuffling, just actually grab it, right? And then shuffle until you get to the last card, and now you are where you want to be. So my second tip is if you want to control the card to anywhere else but the top or bottom. So this is what I mean. Let's say you want to control the card 5th from the top. So let's say they picked the 3 of spades. What you want to do is you want to run 4 cards. So 1, 2, 3, 4, right on top of it. Then go ahead and do that in jog, right? As small as possible, and shuffle off. Since I've left a pretty big packet, I'll kind of peel half of it and then drop it off. So now that 3 of spades is 5th from the top. Now, the reason why you want to do that is, like, let's say you have someone pick a card, you lose it somewhere in the middle of the deck, and then you just, right, since you have control of it, you can easily force that onto somebody else by culling it. Let's say you want to do a trick where everybody picks 1 card, but each spectator doesn't know that they all picked the same card, and then you reveal it at the end. That's just one little trick that you can do with the overhand. Now, my second tip is using the overhand control as a false shuffle. Now, the overhand control already seems like such a fair shuffle, so using it as a false shuffle is extremely powerful. So let's say you have a mnemonic stack, right? Let's say they're all stacked and you know every order of the card and you don't want to disturb it. So you can do some type of mentalism. What you want to do, it's actually really simple. It looks like it won't work, but it does. And it gets people every single time. It literally looks like you're shuffling. So what you want to do is just grab the half, I run about like 10 cards. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And then I kind of just drop that off there. And then literally just pick this right back up again and drop those 10 cards off again. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Put it back on top. In full motion, what it should look like. And it should look like that. I think I messed up somewhere in the middle, but it should still be the 10 cards. As long as you're counting, you'll be fine. And it should not mess with the entire stack. Now, this last tip will be pretty quick, but it's the tip that you should definitely always take into consideration when doing the overhand shuffle control. And that is, be messy. Just be as messy as possible, right? Come back here, work your way up here, right? Maybe just do that. Maybe just run maybe the entire thing. Literally all up to you, right? But just make it messy. And if you drop some cards while you're at it, that's actually a lot better. It gives you a bit of like distraction. You're like, oops, sorry, I picked the card or dropped the card. And then you can keep going and then finish controlling it wherever you want. 10th from the top, 20th from the bottom, doesn't really matter, but just make it messy.
Well, that's all the tips and subtleties that I have today. Hopefully you guys learned a lot. Hopefully you guys take all of them into consideration. Hopefully you guys use them out there, because that is what magic is meant to be. Magic is designed to be performed to other people, even to other magicians if you really need to get some practice in. But go out there and start utilizing all these moves. If you guys haven't watched my previous videos, I've done one on double lifts. Everybody always needs to improve on their double lifts, so go ahead and check that out. I'll leave it somewhere up here. If you want to learn anything on palming, or learn just even how to keep a break, if you guys want to improve your snap change, I'll leave all the links in the description on my previous videos. So I'll be posting once a week. I'll be posting every Friday, roughly around 4:30 p.m. Pacific time. I'm over here located in California. So please subscribe. That way you can learn tips and subtleties on basic sleight of hand. Besides that, peace.